Friday morning. It's August 11th. Let me check the date. August 12th. Yikes. Anyhow, August 12th. Podcast back. NFL Table Talk, NFL Preview Review. We're previewing AFC, NFC North today on the podcast. That means 8 teams to cover. We're going to get that to you in a quick window. Sorry for the podcast being a late one, day late. Not too much, but still unacceptable. We're trying to be consistent here. We're trying to make great podcasts, consistent time base for the listeners so they know where to go and they don't go nowhere else. I'm talking to you guys. Making sure everything's right, got the audio rocking, got the video rocking. We're doing it all around here, all alone today. Shout out Josh Hesseltine for Jeffin, if you're listening. But expect Josh for Monday's podcast with the AFC, NFC East. That was supposed to be out this Thursday. We had a slight mishap there, but I'm still going to bring you that North today. We're going to start with the NFC. But actually, before we get to that, I just want to shout out everyone for pre-ordering the Darian Week signature T-shirt. But we did have a big mishap. The fight actually just got called off 2 days ago. Darian was going to be set to travel to Paris and fight Cedric Dombe, but looks like he pulled out, or the fight got canceled for some reason. And now he's fighting a week later, September 10th in Las Vegas, UFC 279. Let me pull up that card, actually. I'm not even sure who's on it. UFC 279. Boom. Ooh, that's Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. Wow. So Darian was on the last Khamzat fight. Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. I was in attendance. That fight was amazing. It was the best fight I've ever watched in person, that's for sure. And I'm sure on television it was pretty nice to watch too. Yeah, Chimaev, Nate Diaz, Johnny Walker's on the card. Let's see who else. That's about it. But now Darian Weeks is on that card. Let's go Darian Weeks. Fighting Johan. I'm not even going to try the last name. Starts with an L. Check out Darian's Instagram, at Darian1990. I can't even talk. At Darian1993. He's got that side by side for you if you want to see that. But we'll be making a new shirt, kind of Vegas inspired, UFC 279 inspired. Hopefully have that done by Monday, and I can kind of talk about that on the podcast Monday. Make a post, get all the the looks right. I don't want to just like, oh dang, can't make the Paris shirts now. Let's just throw something out there. No, it's got to be legit, just like the Paris tee. That's why y'all pre-ordered it. That's why y'all support Darian. That's why y'all support Dedication Period, the podcast, you name it. Appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the NFC North. But yeah, just look for new shirt very soon. And I appreciate everyone who pre-ordered. Much love. Appreciate that. So next, NFC North. I'm going to try and run through each team. Some of these, I'm basically going to be covering every single team over the course of these 2-3 weeks or whatever. I already did the AFC, NFC West with Dalton Martin. That podcast came out Monday. It's a banger of a podcast. He breaks down the Rams incredibly. I try to do best for the Chiefs. It was the first one. I felt a little rushed into it. I didn't get enough juice off. So we're going to do another Chiefs preview later in the month, right before September. And we're going to really get into the meat and potatoes on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to get some people on the pod, Chiefs fans, get their perspective as well. Look for that at the end of the month. But right now, it's NFC North. That's a division of grit. If you watched Hard Knocks on Tuesday, it was a hell of an episode. If you're subscribed to HBO Max, go to Hard Knocks, watch first episode, Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. It was an amazing episode. If you don't have HBO Max, you could illegally stream it. Not saying that I do that from time to time for certain different things, but get at me. Maybe we can make sure you see it and I can get your comment on it. I want everyone that's listening to the podcast start commenting your questions, all those kind of things. But right now, Detroit Lions, rocking it. Shout out Deja Scott for finding this gem of a t-shirt. Let me hold it up one more time. This is a TJ Maxx special. I'm a Chiefs fan, but I love football. I'll rock any team, you know what I mean? She did give me a Tom Brady Bucks shirt right after they won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and I was kind of a little bitter about it, but I got it hanging up in the closet. It's a very nice t-shirt. Maybe one day when I'm not as bitter, I can maybe rock it, but not anytime soon, I would imagine. I wear it at home though, you know. But anyhow, the Detroit Football Lions. Detroit has been a team of misery, I would say, for the last, I don't even know. I don't remember when they were good. I used to love watching Detroit Lions with Megatron and Matt Stafford back in the day. Those were the days, absolutely. Really bitter that Calvin retired so early, but really that's been the only and absolutely with Matt Stafford just leaving a year ago, Detroit Lions, they don't really have an identity. Who are the Detroit Lions? Last year, you seen them get real scrappy late in the year. Early on, it was chaos. Jared Goff not looking the best. But I love Dan Campbell. Hard Knocks was an amazing episode. If you don't want to hear what happened, you can skip like the next minute. But essentially, Dan Campbell had amazing sound bites. You've probably seen it on social media if you didn't watch it. But he's a dude, just he's a football guy to his core. There's not a better football guy probably as a coach in the sport. He had like a 13-year career tight end, and he wasn't like a receiving extraordinaire like a Travis Kelce. He was in there in the trenches getting shit done, and he's a big dude. He's jacked. He's doing freaking up downs with his team. It was amazing. What else happened? Jamal Williams. He was giving some wild speeches. I was just laughing and I couldn't really actually grasp what he was talking about though. But, and then the rookie, Hutchinson, I can't forget I don't know why I can't remember his first name right now. He, they were doing a meeting and the rookies all had to go down there and say, their signing bonus and then like sing a song or something. But the signing bonus, $22 million, hearing everybody freak out when that happened was like, I mean, a lot of these dudes, there's dudes in that room that have probably put hella good shit on tape and on Sundays that haven't even made 22 million yet. And this rookie comes in with a signing bonus just to sign the contract at 22 mil. Imagine that. Wire that shit into your account. That would be. I don't know how I do it. I don't know if I would take the money all at once or be like, yo, can you like spread this out throughout? No, you probably take all the money out. Who the hell am I kidding? I just would be scared I'd spend it all really quick. But no, that was pretty cool. But as far as the Lions are concerned this season, I wanted to do something different with this podcast and kind of look at the over-unders on every team. But it looks like Detroit Lions over-under for the season. Sorry, I should have had this ready for y'all. Is 6 games. They have the 28th best strength of schedule, meaning not a very strong schedule. So that's good for them. I think it really comes down to if Jared Goff can play consistent, non-turnover football. They got DeAndre Swift. Dude's a savage. I would probably try and grab him in any fantasy league. I'm not going to reach for him, but I think he's set for a great year and definitely try to get his handcuff Jamal Williams. And sounds like I've read a couple articles, but it looks like they're definitely going to use Jamal Williams a lot because they know what they got in him. He's a team leader. You saw that in Hard Knock. So I would definitely get Swift, but I'm not going to reach for him. And definitely try to get his Jamal Williams to match it. That's what I would do. Fantasy advice from a fantasy pro. But yeah, I would say that I'm trying to make sure my camera stays focused. Damn. Come on now. But yeah, I mean, all right. Sorry, everyone listening to the podcast is like, what the hell? So yeah, it's gonna really depend on what Jared Goff's doing receiving wise. DJ Shark, I think it's maybe prime for a really big year. It all depends on his health though. Jameson Williams, when he comes back, that'll be an interesting component. But they're really talking up Amon St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's how you say it, right? Yeah, Amon-Ra. They're really talking him up in camp, and Jared Goff said he's his like go-to guy. Like he's in trouble, I'm getting him the ball. So I would definitely expect him to have a definitely big fantasy contribution. And I mean, he started tearing shit up at the end of the season last year. So that'll be a very interesting component as well. I'm not sure what they're doing at the tight end spot. But defensively, I think they're going to be a good team just based off that grit factor alone. But I don't expect them to be like the team that surprises everybody, so to speak. Detroit Lions defense, if that defense can be just rowdy as hell, I think that they actually are maybe the team to surprise in the NFC North, not in the NFL. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But by surprise, I don't mean playoff spot, but I mean beat some, maybe take off the Packers one time, maybe split with the whole damn division, and maybe be itching around that itching a wild card spot. But definitely I would not be the guy that's like, yo, the Lions are going to the playoffs. But I do think that they'll be better than that 3-14 record last year. 6 wins, I don't think they go over. I would take the under on the 6 wins. I know that's kind of weird when I just said that they could be the surprise team, but it's Jared Goff we're talking about. I don't think Jared Goff is that good. I've been telling Dalton Martin, the Rams fan of the podcast, I've been telling him for a long time that Jared Goff ain't good. Not that like, Jared Goff is a great quarterback in the scheme of things. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I'm just saying he's not that good on that level. He ain't gonna be winning Super Bowls. That's the reason why Matt Stafford got traded there, and that's the reason the Rams won it. So Detroit Lions doesn't go over 6. I could definitely see him getting to 6. I wouldn't bet the under, but I would say for the podcast that the Lions are going under. Next, Green Bay Packers. I love the Packers, bro. I got Packers shorts. I could have wore those with the Lions. Everybody been like, "What the hell is going on?" But I'm all about it. Always been an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love the fact that it came out that he's done ayahuasca. I think that's cool as hell. I think that's cool as hell. Just coming out and speaking about it and just being like, I don't give a damn. And I've always loved this COVID stance. I don't really care what anybody listening's stance is on COVID. I mean, my opinion. Why should it bother you? But I loved what Aaron Rodgers did, and I mean, definitely, maybe he could have just came out and just said he's not vaccinated. Instead, he was like, "I'm immunized" or whatever he said before the season started. So, and then everybody trashed him when he popped for COVID. Popped for, I said like he popped for steroids or something. But everybody got mad when he tested positive for COVID, and I was happy because he had to miss the Chiefs game, so that gave us a better shot at winning, which we did. So that was great. Thank you, Aaron. But um, let people talk shit. At the end of the day, you know, uh, enough COVID talk. But the Packers, I'm definitely excited about. Everybody's down on them. They lose Devontae Adams, huge loss, huge loss. But they had some nice additions to the defense. Jair Alexander is one of the best corners in the NFL. I'm really, really interested to see what happens in Green Bay. As long as they got 12 behind the shotgun, he's gonna go off. I actually expect him to still tear it up. He might not have as many touchdowns and passing yards, but bro, this dude is capable of doing 40 touchdowns, less than 5 picks. Like, it's insane. And he throws the way he throws the ball is better than anyone. I would only put Mahomes on his level. Mahomes can dish it out from any angle. Mahomes can do it from any freaking angle, and Aaron Rodgers can too. But uh, definitely give the mobility aspect to Mahomes. But I think there's places that Rodgers puts the ball that Mahomes maybe just can't. And uh, love Aaron, love Pat. Those are my two guys in the NFL. But anyhow, I think the Packers are going to be just fine. I really do. I think it's not going to be one person to take Devontae Adams' production. Nobody can take or match Devontae Adams' production. But I do think two guys can match that production. And I think Aaron's going to be splitting the ball around. I'm not going to try and draft a single Green Bay Packer in fantasy. But I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to get his. I think he's going to dish it around. Alan Lazard, the rookie that they drafted, Watson. They got Robert Tonyan, Aaron Jones catching balls. I mean, you really could have a set, and this would be a very scary offense with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. You got AJ Dillon behind him, and you got also Aaron Jones, who's motioning around, playing the slot a little bit, but also carrying the ball 15, 20 times a game. What if AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones both get about 10, 15 rushes a game? Aaron Jones probably going to catch another 5 balls. Then you got Alan Lazard, who knows that offense, knows Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to have progression. But if one of these rookies, and there's a guy in camp they were talking high about. I seen an article, not Watson or Watford or whatever the fuck that dude's name is. Anyhow, they got some rookies in camp that are, they're high on, but I think every team's got rookies in camp they're high on, and do they pan out? Maybe not every time. So, but Lazard late rounds, I'd take him absolutely. I don't know how far he's going. I haven't really done a lot of mock drafts. That's for later in the month. I'm not trying to overwhelm myself. It's too early for that. Anyhow, I know my first 3 picks though, normally. So yeah, defensively, I think they'll be just fine. I think that Aaron Rodgers led Green Bay Packers will win this division, and that's. Let me see. I'm looking for the over under. I'm sorry. 11 wins is the over under. 11. There's an extra game. 17 games always trips me up, but I do think they can go over 11. If I had a sports book in my state, Missouri got to catch up. I would definitely go with the over on that. I would be willing to bet it because everybody's not. Because everybody's talking high about Minnesota Vikings. Let's go on over to the Minnesota Vikings. Win total of 9 is what CBS is giving them. I don't know who this is, if it's just straight up CBS, if that's just the Vegas odds or what. But yeah, they were bad last year. They hired the new coach, Kevin O'Connell, kind of a studly looking dude. He looks like a offensive guy. You know what I mean? But all the talks is they've revamped this offense, I guess, to kind of make it look like the Rams with Cooper Kupp, how they were doing, and Justin Jefferson's going to be their Cooper Kupp. And then that means Adam Thielen can be the OBJ. Adam Thielen is going to have a great season. It's probably going to be one of his last, that kind of like a final hoorah season. They got all the hype. They think that they can finally take the Packers down. I don't think they will, but I do think they'll be a playoff team. I think they'll be a wild card team. Minnesota is going to go over 9 wins, in my opinion, but they ain't going over like 10. It would be like either 9 or 10. So if you can get a bet at 9, I don't know. I do think it just depends. I don't know if 9 and 8 will get them into playoffs. I haven't looked at every single team. But I do think that offense is going to be scary depending on if Kirk Cousins comes to play football or not. And it's been the jury's out on that. Well, I don't even think the jury is still out on that. I think everybody knows that Kirk Cousins is not built for it in a certain sense. I love Kirk Cousins, his tenacity and his, like his just never give up kind of mentality, even though he does have a lot of plays that you're just like, what the fuck was that? But hopefully Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison's like a great backup running back. I mean, they can lean on that run in certain times. Out when Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are just balling out, guess what you can do? You can hand it off to Dalvin Cook. What better thing to do than that? So definitely like them. Defensively, Everson Griffin's a fucking not Everson Griffin. What the hell? I can't think of anybody's name. I'm trying to find it on this article. Everson Griffin's the old dude. Daniil Hunter, that dude's a savage. Dude's huge. Hopefully he can have a big year for him. Patrick Peterson, I think, is back still. It'll be interesting to see how they compete, but I would definitely slot him in that second spot. Definitely draft any Viking offensively you can get, except Kirk Cousins, probably. Last off in the West, we got the Chicago Bears. Chicago signed seemed like 1,000 Kansas City Chiefs in the offseason. Probably a great philosophy to have. Their over-under is 6.5 games. Strength of schedule tied for 24th. I didn't give you all the strength of the schedule for the rest of the teams. 22nd, Green Bay. Minnesota, 20th. So that kind of gives you an insight of what they're kind of thinking the strength of the division even is, because 28 Detroit, 24 Chicago, 22nd Green Bay, and 20th Minnesota. That just shows that they're playing each other twice a year, so that division kind of being looked at as the weakest. And I would say that last podcast I kind of fooled around with the idea of NFC West being the worst division in football. I don't actually believe that. I think that it's not it did go from great to not as great, and there is a gap between how great it was last year and this year, it seems, just by losing Russell Wilson, because that's just, in my opinion, takes the Seahawks completely out of it. They're not going to just be a pushover team, but I mean, if both teams give their best each day, I don't think Seattle comes close to the Rams, Cardinals, and depending on how Trey Lance does, the Niners. So let's come back over here to the Chicago Bears. Tied for the 24th. Hardest schedule. Not very hard, but they're going to need as easy schedule as they can get for Justin Fields. I think he should show some flashes towards the end of the season. I think he's going to have good fantasy impact, maybe running the ball, but I'm just not sold on the passer completely. Darnell Mooney, I think, would be a good guy to try and get in fantasy, but really, I'm going to take the under on the Bears 6.5. I think they'll be the worst team in the division. Detroit would be third. So that's my standings. Green Bay 1, Minnesota 2, Detroit 3, Chicago 4. But Chicago, dude, I don't even want to spend that much time on them. They got rid of Khalil Mack. Pretty sure they lost Akeem Hicks. Yeah, just not good. Not good. The new coach looks weird. Looks like a wizard almost. I'm not buying him. I'm not going to trust these guys at all. And that's the Chicago Bears. They're trying to get rid of Roquan Smith's trying to leave too. That'd be like, I think he's looking around. He's seeing everybody else. All of his OGs are gone. Not liking it. What we got here? All right. Now, let's switch sides, take it on over to the AFC North. This is a division with grit. I just mentioned that the NFC had a lot of grit, but this division's got a lot of grit. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will start with the Cincinnati Bengals, the surprise team of 2021, The Chiefs couldn't beat them 0-2 against them. At home, on the road, both. We're going to get to play them in Cincinnati late in the year. This year will be interesting. What was that? What was that? Oh, shit. Here we go. Cleveland Browns, they've covered a lot of the NFL offseason just with the Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield drama. And the Baltimore Ravens, one of the best teams in football, in my opinion. And I'm talking about a team. They're skilled almost everywhere except for wide receiver, though. So that'll be interesting. But remember, 2 years ago, they led the NFL in rushing. I don't know. They might have done it. Might have done it last year. I'd look it up, but I don't want to right now. I got too much shit going on. So let's start. Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterback drama in Pittsburgh, that's for sure. Mitch Trubisky just drafted homeboy from Pittsburgh. I forgot his damn name already. Kenny Pickett, but I guess Mason Rudolph's looking good in camp. No matter who they go with, not going to be good. I would want to go with Mitchell Trubisky if I'm the Steelers because at least he has experience. He's won a playoff game. I don't buy him, but I think they messed up completely. When they drafted Kenny Pickett, I think that set their franchise back because, okay, you just had Ben Roethlisberger for so long. Now you're bringing Kenny Pickett. Now, if Kenny Pickett's great, you didn't set him back, but I do not see that. I don't think Kenny Pickett will be good at all. Sorry. And Trubisky ain't the answer, and Mason Rudolph has shown you he's not the answer. I wish the best for Trubisky, but it's just not been good for him, and I just would not expect anything great from him. But they do have the weapons: Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Pickens, who they just drafted. They still got Ebron. I mean, they got all kinds of players. They brought in more players. Offensive line. I guess they've got all kinds of new players there, young guys. But defensively is what the Steelers are made on. TJ Watt, probably the best edge rusher in the league. Definitely top 3. Definitely probably top 2. That would be my pick for the AL Defensive Player of the Year going into the year. But we'll see that later in the month as well. Pittsburgh, I think, is going to be a force to deal with just defensively alone. Going to have to keep games to a very small point total. If teams score over 20 points, they might struggle to win games. Field position is going to be huge for them because I don't see him getting a lot of first downs. It's going to be interesting in Pittsburgh. I hope the best for him. I always love Mike Tomlin, but it's going to be hard this year. What's their win totals? AFC North win totals. See this shit. So, damn, I just saw Cincinnati's. It was low. We'll get into the next 7.5. I'm going under. I would love to bet that under right there. It's just the quarterback position is too important in this league, and I don't. What's the running back situation like? Who the hell is even running the? Oh, what am I thinking? Najee Harris. Najee Harris is all depends on you, bro. If Najee Harris can have that like Derrick Henry type year that some people think he can, look out. The Steelers can cruise over that, but I would take the under. I would absolutely take the under. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals, 9.5 games is their over under. I think they go over that. I don't think that they will be Super Bowl bound like they were last year. I think Joe Burrow had an incredible campaign. Playoffs was great. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Damn, Jamar Chase is maybe the best receiver in football. I'd take Jamar Chase right now over anybody, probably. Justin Jefferson right there behind him. Cooper Kupp, I mean, obviously great. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill. God, the wide receiver position is so incredible. Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen. Who am I missing? Who else needs shouts? Anyways, DK. Yeah. We'll see. But Cincinnati's really good. Offensively, really good. It seems like they kept a lot of their guys on defense. Eli Apple, they brought him even back. But yeah, they brought in offensive line help. That'll help out Burrow. But their schedule is the big thing. They're going to be playing one of the hardest schedules this year. They ain't got the number for me, which I wanted. But yeah, I think that they would be looking at maybe like a 11, 12. If they're for real, they can go over 12. But I would say like an 11. I think I would. It's just I don't know. I might be speaking out of pocket right here because my next team, um, I think could win the division. I'll let y'all know that. But you're like, ooh, Cleveland? No, it's not Cleveland. Spoil is over. But I would say that Cincinnati, I mean, I think Joe Burrow's for real. I really do. Like I just said, Jamar Chase is probably the best receiver in the league. They already have chemistry from college. You've seen it already in the NFL. I think that combo is only going to get better. I think Jamar Chase is the kind of guy I feel like could have 20 touchdowns in a season. I really do think that. But T Higgins is so damn good too, and they got Tyler Boyd, dude. They they set that team up nice. They gave Joe Burrow a lot to choose from. Joe Mixon running the ball. Cincinnati's good. I ain't gonna hate on them. I hate on the Buffalo Bills, but that's because their fans are incredibly horrible to deal with. They're just completely. It just doesn't make sense. You would think they'd beat the Chiefs every single time they played them, and now the entire NFL media is basically writing them off as the chalk pick to win the Super Bowl. Okay, the Chiefs have had that kind of for the last couple seasons. Them and the Bucks, like people are, oh yeah, the Chiefs, they'll be there, and let's see how the Bills deal with that, hype. And they got like the second hardest schedule in the league. Let's see what you do with that. That's been the Chiefs every year. I think the Chiefs have the number one still. This ain't new to me. This ain't new to us. It's so new to these. But anyways, Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson's in town. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one over with. Baker Mayfield sent off to Carolina. I'm happy for Baker. I'm glad that he got out of somewhere that didn't want him. I hope the best for him. We'll see what happens. He's got like that college type coach that I think can kind of maybe bring some of that what we've seen at Oklahoma back. But everyone's talking up that he was hurt last year, so we'll see how that works. They're saying he's looking great in camp lately. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Christian freaking McCaffrey. I don't know. I got the number one pick in a big league that I'm in, fantasy league, the stud league, the league, best fantasy 12-man league around. Standard scoring. We keep it original. We keep it real. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Cleveland, I hope Deshaun Watson gets at least 8 games. I think he should miss at least half the season, especially when I've seen that their first 6 games is like the easiest schedule around. But I still think they're going to go 2-4 to start. Jacoby Brissett, yeah, he's a manager. They like to say he ain't winning you 4 games. That's for sure. If you get to 3-3, I would be blessed if Watson's coming back then. But this team's not a playoff team, even if Watson comes back at the game 6 mark. Like I said, I think they're 2-4, and this division I think is really strong. I think Pittsburgh's good enough to split with them, no matter what their quarterback situation is. I think Cincinnati's good enough to beat them both. Chubb and Hunt better get your. That's going to be big there. They're going to have to be these. This is going to be a freaking beat 'em up division. When you talk about Pittsburgh, I think they're going to be running the ball a lot. Cleveland, they got to run the ball a lot. Baltimore might be the best rushing team in the NFL. So, yeah, I just don't think Cleveland's got it. Mari Cooper, I'm definitely drafting him in leagues if he's falling. I think I've always loved Amari's game. And I think Brissett would be able to get him the ball enough. I don't think he'd be trusted week to week. But if he's got Deshaun Watson, I think he's a set it and forget it. You don't even worry about it. But yeah, the defense is pretty stacked. They're talking about getting Ndamukong Suh. That would help up the inside. They got Myles Garrett outside. They got a great secondary. I wouldn't say great, but it's good. They got a good team. They just gotta have Deshaun Watson to compete. And if he's missing half the season or even 6, like I said, I just don't think it's this year. But next year, look out. I definitely think Cleveland would. So Cincinnati, this is your year. This is your year to try to take ownership. But Baltimore Ravens, I think that they can do it. I think that they can do it. I think J.K. Dobbins coming back, Gus Edwards even, is really going to help that team. Lamar Jackson seems like he's willing to run for 1,000 yards, and I don't doubt him at all. Mark Andrews, great tight end. Rashad Bateman, I think, is going to have a big season. They're going to need somebody else to step up receiving-wise, though. But I think they know what they're doing in Baltimore. Seems like they always know what they're doing. Their defense is going to be stacked. Really look for Baltimore. I want to say that Baltimore is going to win this division, and I'm actually going to say Baltimore is going to win the division. And something weird, like I think Baltimore goes 11-6, and Cincinnati goes 11-6, but Baltimore has the tiebreak or something. And yeah, Cleveland, I think if Deshaun only misses 6 games, I think they could make a push. But I just think that if they start 2-4, Deshaun's got to get used to playing again. He hadn't played in a year and a half, it would be, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know, dude. And then Pittsburgh's still going to be good. So 11 wins could even be a stretch. But that's my call. Baltimore wins this division. I kind of rushed through the last couple just because, I'm not an expert, but I am an expert. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. That didn't make a lot of sense, but no, that's a podcast. That's the AFC, NFC North. Actually, it's not complete yet. Let's give an unsung hero. That's a new little term I like for the podcast. Obviously, not a new term. Everybody's heard that before. But an unsung hero in the NFC North, my pick will be. I would want to say Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen's going to have a great season. But everybody knows him. He ain't unsung. He's been sung about before. So I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon. I think he's the pick. Everybody kind of knows about him, but he's still going real late in rounds. I think this could be a year he has where next year he's first, second round. I think he could go over 1,000 yards rushing, him and Aaron Jones, maybe, possibly. That'd be really fucking awesome for the Packers. I want to see a Chiefs Packers Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So that's what I'm pulling for. So yeah, I'm gonna go with A.J. Dillon. Then on the AFC side, I'm gonna pick. Here's another one. Here's a guy that is sung about, Amari Cooper. I think he still has a good season. But my unsung hero will be in this division. Dun dun. I'm buying myself some time. Dun 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 dun. Rashad Bateman. Let's go ahead and just say Rashad Bateman. I think he's gonna really take off this season. He's got to. And Lamar Jackson's got a lot to prove still. People still doubt him all the time. And I think he's got all the talent in the world. I don't think he's in that top tier of passing quarterbacks, probably not even in the second, but he's good enough to get the job done, especially when they run the ball well. As long as they're running well and he's running well, not getting injured, I mean, team's got to stop that. And he still has the ability to throw a deep ball, play action. They can just carve you up. Baltimore's my pick. Green Bay's my pick in these divisions. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back Monday, AFC, NFC, East. We're talking Dallas Cowboys. Are they even going to be Are they going to be the same? Can they ever win a playoff game? What's the deal? We're going to get it from Josh Heseltine, the Cowboys fan of this podcast, co-host of NFL Table Talk in the past years. Great mind for the sport. It'll be a fun podcast. We'll also be talking about them Bills that your boy Simo loves to hate on. Everybody thinking that they're going to win it all. We'll see. We'll talk about that. That's Monday. Expect it. Love it. Share it. Peace.